we now have in California elderly parole at 50 years old.
Robert Rustad, the man known as the Del Mar Rapist in the 1990s, attended an early parole hearing this week.
He raped 6 women over 2 years in a premeditated way, breaking into their homes at knife point.
Under state law, he qualifies for early parole because he's considered elderly, over the age of 50. Rustad is now age 51.
His sentence was 300 years to life, well-deserved, which meant that the victims counted on that this serial rapist would not face a parole board.
District Attorney Summer Stephan is sponsoring 2 new bills, AB 47 and SB 286, that would roll back elderly parole for violent sex offenders. Early parole laws were put in place in California years ago to reduce the prison population.
I don't believe that a civilized society should choose its worst offenders, the violent rapists and premeditated, cold-hearted murderers, to reduce a prison population.
The parole board denied Rustad's release on Wednesday for another 3 years. In fact, the vast majority of early parole hearings result in denials.
It doesn't mean that, okay, this is a get-out-of-jail-free card. It isn't.
Legal analyst Dan Eaton points out it costs on average $133,000 per year to house a prison inmate in California.
As a prisoner ages, the risk of reoffense lowers, and the cost of incarceration, because of health care and other issues, increases dramatically.
And he says the overall recidivism rate is relatively low for elderly paroled inmates.
The recidivism rate for people 50 or over who have served at least 20 years in prison is around 2% and is near zero when you're talking about people who get to be in their 60s.
Again, those 2 bills take aim at violent sex offenders who are eligible for elderly early parole. The bills are making their way through the committee process in Sacramento. At the Hall of Justice, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thanks, David. The DA tells us last year, a total of 70 inmates from San Diego County convicted on a variety of crimes were granted early parole.